Hello and welcome or welcome back to the Import Export Hub channel, everybody. Bogdan here, your biased host for the next 10 minutes or so. Thanks for joining me, by the way. I hope everybody is doing great. And without begging you to hit those small vanity buttons below this video, allow me to cover United States import dynamics from China with a focus on the top 20 headings that experienced the largest absolute positive growth in 2023 relative to the previous year, so 2022, followed by the top 20 products that had the largest absolute negative change, again on a year-over-year basis, and towards the end of the video, the top 20 products with the lowest variability, but this time on a 10-year basis. And basically, here I've calculated the coefficient of variation expressed as a ratio between the standard deviation and average. But more on this later. So without losing precious time here, guys, on the positive side, we have heading 8507. So we are talking about electric storage batteries, who had the largest absolute positive change of some $4.16 billion, which is a 39% growth in relative terms. And we see here a double-digit positive compound annual growth rate for the last 10, 5, and 3 years also. And here it's worth following up how the 2024 figures will look like given the current trade tensions between China and the United States. Then we have animal or vegetable fats with a huge increase in 2023 relative to 2022 of some $793 million. Then we have a heading covering U.S. exports towards China meant for reimportation after the repairs have been done in China, with an increase of $337 million. Then we see radioactive chemical elements and isotopes with a big increase also, some $314 million. Then we have low-valued import transactions. Basically, we are talking about imports from China that fall below the de minimis threshold of $800. And most probably, if you ask me, around 90-95% of the yearly amounts are imports from Temu, Shein, or Alibaba. But anyways, I think that's going to change in the near future. At least, again, this is my educated guess, let's say. What else do we have here, guys? We see washing machines did pretty well in 2023. We have $134.8 million positive change. We see self-propelled bulldozers, angle dozers, and the like, with a year-on-year positive change of $134.6 million. Turbojets and other gas turbines made it to this top 20 list also, with an absolute positive change of almost $86 million. Then we have unmanned aircrafts. I think we are talking about drones mostly, heading 8806 with an absolute positive change of $74.6 million. Beauty or makeup and skincare preparations is also present in this top 20 with a $71.1 million positive change year over year, and a compound annual growth rate for the last 5 years around 5%. Then we have records, tapes, and other recorded media. Then we have molybdenum and articles thereof. I don't know what it is. I think it's a metal or something like this. So including waste and scrap, yeah, most probably is metal with an absolute positive change of some $41.2 million. And the last 3 headings from this top 20 list are fish, frozen, excluding fish fillets, with an absolute change of $37.6 million. Semi-finished products of iron or non-alloy steel is on the 19th place with an absolute positive change of $36.3 million. And the last heading is 8462, so machine tools for working metal by, I don't know, forging, bending, or folding, who saw an absolute increase of $31.5 million and an impressive 21% compound annual growth rate for the last 3 years. So, guys, these were the top 20 headings that registered the largest absolute positive changes in 2023 relative to the previous year. And now I'll move to the negative ones. We're heading 8471. So PCs and laptops suffered the most. We have an year-over-year absolute negative change of $13.2 billion and a worrying 13.23% negative compound annual growth rate for the last 3 years. Then we have heading 8517 with almost $8.9 billion contraction, and this heading is also in the negative territory in what concerns the compound annual growth rate, while the podium finishes with heading 9503, so toys not elsewhere specified, who saw a $4 billion contraction relative to 2022. And then the top 20 list goes on with, I don't know, seats, composite diagnostic or laboratory reagents, furniture also with $2.18 billion contraction. We see articles and equipment for general physical exercise. What else do we have here? Footwear, lamps and lighting fittings and parts is also present with $1.56 billion contraction. Then we see video game consoles. We have tools for working in the hand. We see again footwear, and the last two headings are parts and accessories for tractors with $1.14 billion contraction. And the last one in this list is heading 8525, who saw a $1.1 billion contraction. And the worrying thing here is the negative 19% compound annual growth rate for the last 3 years. So basically we see what 4 headings from chapter 85. We have 3 from 95 and 94 respectively, and 2 headings from chapters 84, yes, 30 and 64, which may not tell a lot, but where somebody could see just a simple count of headings. For me, it says that China is starting to lose US business, at least in sectors with potentially high added value chapters like, I don't know, 84 or 85, but also in what concerns footwear or toys. Anyways, moving now, guys, to my last sheet. I have here the top 20 headings that had the lowest variability in this 2014-2023 time frame. And we might say that these are the sectors where China still has a competitive advantage. And I say still because if you look carefully at the compound annual growth rate for the last, I don't know, 5 or 3 years, there are only 5 unique headings in the positive territory, which is the low part of the single-digit growth. And this, for me at least, this is an indication that China will soon lose volumes in the next, I don't know, 3 to 5 years. Anyways, coming back to the headings that had the lowest variability, on the first place we see spectacles, goggles and the like, with a coefficient of variation of 0.045. Then we have brooms and brushes with a 0.072 coefficient of variation. And on the third place we have hand tools, not elsewhere specified, with a coefficient of variation of 0.079. And this list continues with, I don't know, glass, bed and table linen, stockings, socks and the like is also present here with a coefficient of variation of 0.85. Then we have orthopedic appliances. What else do we have here? Electric shavers, gloves, compound optical microscopes. We have articles of zinc, not elsewhere specified. We have machine tools. Then we see frames and mountings for spectacles. We see primary cells and primary batteries, which is on the 19th place, while machinery for preparing or making up tobacco, so heading 8478, ends this top 20 list with a coefficient of variation of 0.096. And basically, we see here that chapter 90 is pretty well represented with 4 headings, and it's telling us that China has a strong competitive advantage in this chapter, at least in what concerns its exports towards the United States. So I'm talking about the spectacles and goggles sector, which by the way, it is true. But guys, I'm not suggesting that this is an exhaustive research, but for sure it gives you an idea about how things are going. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you've liked it. If you want the file, just drop me an email and I will send you all the info you need. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you've liked it. Don't forget to hit those small vanity buttons below this video. And as usual, until next time, keep your business safe. Thanks.